First.
Well, yeah, everybody's nervous when they start the show. They're like,
I'm
oh my
not
god.
nervous.
It's like,
I'm
oh
just
yeah, because we're just peak publicity. All our hundreds of subscribers are really gonna like freak. But
uh-huh.
I'm
No.
glad because this is what we've been waiting for. Just a conversation
Yeah.
between David and Zoe. And honestly, have we
It's just
talked
you and
since
me.
since the last time I've seen you? Have we had like a long conversation?
No.
I don't
We've
think so.
called a couple times, but I don't think we've had like a David and Zoe conversation.
We haven't,
You
yeah,
know?
like the like back
Yeah.
to the farmers market. No, we
Yeah.
haven't had
Yeah.
that.
No
But
farmers market vibes.
I've had this idea. It can blow over. But I just figured the best way to get into a David and Zoe conversation is like, what is something you and I don't agree on? Like, I very rarely, in the past, in the future, will probably not be able to, like, argue with anybody, but I know I can argue with you and be fine with it afterwards.
Yeah.
So what's something we can
Dang,
fight
that's
about?
such a cool aspect of our personality.
I know, check it out. It's almost like it's the point of the podcast or something, huh? I thought I was going to go with that. Never mind. I do not have a hypothetical for you.
That's okay. That's okay.
Are your earrings crosses? I just realized.
They're swords.
Oh, those look heavy.
They're pretty effing cool.
Cool.
They're little swords.
Those
They're
are
like
pretty cool.
really detailed, and they're stabby. They're pointy.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I got them when I was reading. I love fantasy books, and I ordered a pair for my friend for Christmas because she loves fantasy books, and then I ordered myself a pair.
I don't know where we were going with this. I don't even
That's
remember
okay.
the
That was like a
original
really.
question. But we're kind of off topic, so it's time.
Let's go
With
back
a
to your
bear.
regular questions.
We're past that. Welcome to episode 4 of The Many Friends of David S., a show that combines middle school cringiness with adulthood shame. I thought I was out of the spot. I don't know where that came from.
That was really funny. Keep that in.
It just kept going, and I was like, "Whoa, that really worked."
Middle school cringiness. You can watch it later.
So, welcome to the show, Zoe. Zoe Griffiths. You're finally here after 3 episodes. We're glad. So you haven't seen the show. That's okay, because nobody has seen the show. Even the people that have been on the show have not seen the show, and I don't think that'll change for like any other show. You know, Julia is the only exception. She did go to the future to watch every episode, and I thank her for that. But other than that, it's kind of like, it's whatever. With you not knowing how this works, I'll explain to you. This is a podcast with my friends, the many of them. And I'll try to show a little like, oh, this is why they're special, or this is why they're interesting, at least. How we normally start that is with a memory. And I think you, in like the planning for all this podcast, helped me come up with this very first question. So I'm going to send you this first 2-part question on how did we meet and what was our first impression. And I know we have very good stories for this, so go ahead and drop them.
This is a good one.
First impression.
First impression, you were annoying as crap. You, it was that time when we were going on a trip together, we had, met previously when I met Luke, but you were just, a side friend, you know? You weren't really a part of the story. You were just a person, there in the chapter. But my first, real impression of you was when you introduced yourself as Nate, which is not your name. And then, you weren't Nate, and I knew that you weren't Nate, and so I was like, no, what's your actual name? If you don't, introduce me with the right name, I'm not going to remember your name. And then you're like, no, my name's Nate. And I was like, no, it's not. I know your name is not Nate. And then we just, kept going back and forth, and it got dude, come on. Tell me your freaking name. You're being really annoying right now. I also asked if I could sit shotgun, and you were like, hell no. And so...
Yeah, I remember that. Because Nate never plays along with the jokes I make. Every time I throw him something, he'll, after the first time, just, no, his name is David. But he wasn't dropping it. So I was like, if he's not dropping it, I won't drop it. Irregardless of this girl that I will never talk to after this car ride. Which was going to be, 4 hours, at least, a 4-hour car ride.
Yeah, it was long, all the way to Payson.
Yeah,
But I was literally
and
like, dude, I do not like your humor. Like, shut up.
and you
You're not
said
funny.
that like immediately after, which got me like very like, oh, this isn't fun anymore. Now we're fighting, and so we did fight in front of like 10 other people, and then it got like super tense and we got quiet, and one of us was like, so let's start over.
But
And
it was
then we're
me.
like,
It was me.
it must have been you, and we did, and
No,
we
it
were
was
like, blah
probably
blah
you.
blah. This is us. We're friends, and we weren't friends actually. I want to move on to the first time you thought we were friends, and it might be different than my answer, but let's hear it.
Okay.
Friends?
The first time we like broke through the
First time.
barrier, and I was like, okay, this guy, I actually could maybe like get along with. Was when we
Wow.
were sitting in Canyon 49 on that awkwardly shaped couch, waiting to get seated with Julia and Luke,
Oh,
and we were asking each other super deep questions. And it was like normally it was like you and Julia and me and Luke, because I had like a little crush on Luke, and then moving
do
on
you want
from
that in the podcast? Because I'll cut it if not. He's the next guest.
No, you can keep it in. I don't care.
Okay, that's fine. I was gonna do it regardless.
Anyways,
Hi, Luke.
it was.
Text us
Hey.
when you see this part of the video.
It was obvious. Okay, it was very obvious. But it was when we like first started hanging out as a quad. You, me, Julia, and Luke. It was
Did that
like
happen
me and Luke
often?
and you and Julia.
I think that might
Yeah,
have
it
been
did
the
for
one
like a
time.
little
Okay.
while. No, for like
This
a
is
little
good.
while.
It
It
was a
was
good
like,
time. It was a
let's
short
go
time,
hang
but a
out with
good
David
time.
and Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, let's go hang out with David and Luke because we didn't have any other friends.
Yeah.
Not to throw you under the bus, but like that's how we like
Yeah, we didn't
started
either.
hanging
That's
out.
why we hung out with you guys.
Yeah, that's why we started hanging out. And then it like switched at that one point in Canyon 49, and Julia and Luke were playing foosball, and you and I were sitting on the couch, and we started talking about like our biggest insecurities and
You remember how that
something
started
else.
too?
No.
You were just like, we sat down on the couch and we were both like not gonna talk, and you're like, "Do you want to have a deep conversation?" And I just like looked at you like so tired and was like, "Zoe, I would love to have a deep conversation right now." And then yeah, it was just like, "So what's your biggest insecurity?" And you jumped on that. You're like, "Oh, let me tell you straight up."
Yeah.
And I thought that was our only question, right? I didn't think we kept going.
No, I thought there was another one.
I think that lasted like 20 minutes, and then it was like we were just exhausted after like spilling our guts out to each other, and I was like, "So, what's like the weird object you're looking at to avoid eye contact with me?" Because I'm also doing the same thing with you, so I know you're doing
I
it.
forgot about that. That was really funny. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Was that
Yeah,
the question?
so that
'Cause
was,
that's
like-
what I remember. Okay.
That
Yeah.
was the first time. The like biggest insecurity, and then what object are you looking at? That was the first time I was like, okay, actually, this guy is like a real human. And
I think yeah, we were like
my
close friends
first-
after that too.
well,
So
my
your
first
first?
impression was that you hide behind comedy.
No, I do.
I was like, this guy's actually really deep and a super like loyal friend. Oh, I told you that too. I told you. I was like,
yeah.
you're a really loyal friend, and I had no idea because you just hide behind your comedy. Because I was so like blinded by your, for lack of a
My
better term,
comedy.
idiotic joke about like your
Oh, that
name,
too,
and I was
but-
like so annoyed with it.
Some
Anyways,
people say I'm
but-
funny, I don't know.
Mhm.
Not you, but the first snort of the evening, ladies and gentlemen.
but
But
so
yeah,
then that was like the first time I was like, oh, this guy's actually really deep, and like he really thinks about what he says.
that's so funny because that came out of nowhere. And then like Zoe and
It
Luke,
did.
not Zoe and Luke, Julie and Luke were like getting bored of playing foosball, so they were like,
Yeah.
"Hey, could you please like come over here?" And we're like, "No."
We were
Just
like, no, we're
ignored
just
them
gonna stay
straight up.
here.
Yeah, that's not my memory. That's not the first one I would have given you.
Good.
That's
Okay,
a
what's
good
your
one.
first one?
I think I can't remember if this was before or after, but it must have been before because we weren't friends, and I didn't consider you a friend. You asked to tag along in an adventure, and I was like, whatever. I'm like not doing anything anyways. So a little bit of background, and I know you're gonna know it, so don't cut it off. Just let the story ride.
Okay.
So it's a
okay.
Wednesday night. We're at Bible study, and I'm asking TJ or somebody around me, like, hey, you want to go donate plasma? And you just, like, out of nowhere, like, I want to go, please, like, take me. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, whatever. And, like, you committed to it, so I was like, all right, let's do it. And the next day, we go. We made it. The plan was happening. And you're super excited. You have this whole, I have apples and peanut butter and I can't wait. And you're really excited to get like the $80 that we got for trip. And we're really excited for that. And this was like the first time I was going with someone that wasn't Luke. So yeah, this was a whole new thing for me, new thing for you. And we were excited, to say the least. And let's see what happens. So you get on your table, we start giving plasma, and then you send me like a text like, hey, like I'm in pain. And that was it. And I didn't hear from you again. And I didn't see you for like an hour after, and I didn't like know where you were, and I had to ask like everybody there, like, hey, like I came in with a friend and she's gone now. And so I walk into the lobby and I walk past like the medical like little room, and I just see your like Crocs up in the air because you're suspended in a chair with ice all over like your upper like half of your body, like everywhere, just ice packs. And yeah, you like got out of there, and They finally let you out for whatever reason. You're like, oh, I'm fine. You're all like lightheaded, and I had to help you get in my car, and and you were completely normal for about a minute. You're just like, oh, like that was weird. I didn't really like that, but I guess I'll do it again. And I was like, oh, like are you fine now? And you're like, yeah, I'm fine. Let's go get food. And I was like, oh, okay. So we're driving over there, and then you start just like saying weird things that are like not coherent. Or they're just not a sentence. They're just random phrases that don't connect. It's like, are you sure you're okay? Can you tell me your name? And this part creeped me out so badly because you went, yeah, Zoe Griffiths. Zoe Griffiths? Zoe, what's my name? And then you started freaking out on me and you were like, David, what's my name? And started shaking my arm while I'm driving. And you were just like pestering me. And I was like, okay, we're pulling over. And then, what can I do? I don't know because I don't know what's happening. So I call Julia and she doesn't answer. And I text her. I'm like, hey, I think Zoe's dying. Can you help? And she thinks I'm joking, so she never texts back. And then I call Megan, who's in a class, our nursing friend, for those who don't know. Now she has to be on the podcast. Damn it, I name dropped. I never do that. But yeah. So I don't know what to do, so I just take you to Chipotle, because that's the one thing you can say, Chipotle. So we go there. And I'm like, we call your mom. That's what we do. This lady I've never met. Hi, Diane. Or Deanna? Deanna, that's what it is. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm your daughter's friend. She's not doing too hot. And she's like, oh, did you give her soda? Just keep making her drink soda. And so I had to do that while you're like refusing to eat anything at Chipotle, even though you're complaining that you're hungry. And I don't know what to do. So I'm freaking out. And your mom hung up, so I'm like, all right, I'll take her to the emergency room. And then I get there, and I was like, wait, I don't want to throw her into debt, which is probably worse than if she died right now. So we call your mom, and she's, like, counseling you. She's, like, asking you questions, how old are you? And you're like, oh, I'm 18? Were you 18 at the time?
I think I was 18.
So you're, like, 18. You said that. I was like, oh, she doesn't know what she's saying. She's clearly delusional. There's no way she's 18. And so I'm just like, well, she's not getting better. And we had to wait, like, 30 minutes for you to finish your soda and before you could even like remember your middle name, which is like Elaine. I think I know it's Elaine because of that. And how can I forget now? And yeah, that was just like the trippiest experience I've ever had with someone I didn't know. And I think we were friends after that.
We definitely were. It was
that changed. That was a new lead for us.
Yeah. For context, what I found out, I was sitting in the chair. And I don't remember texting you. That's so interesting. I didn't know that I texted you. But I was giving plasma in the chair, and I'm like a pretty small person, and I don't know. My body just doesn't like to do it. I haven't been able to do it like since, because I tried one more time and the same thing happened. But I was sitting in my chair, and your like feet are kind of up, and you're like leaning back, and you're giving plasma, and then all of a sudden my hearing went fuzzy, and it was like I was underwater. And my vision started, like, everything started closing in. And I, like, started slowing down, and I thought I was going to pass out. And they were like, tell us if anything goes wrong. And I was so close to passing out. And I was like, hey, like, I need help. I'm going to pass out. Like, something. And so then the lady's like, okay. And then they like, brought over a nursing cart. And that's when they put ice packs all over me, which helped me feel again. Like I couldn't feel, my body like stopped feeling, so they put an ice pack on my chest and like behind my neck and like on my body, and it was because my blood pressure dropped really, really low, and so like there wasn't enough blood going in my brain, and that's why I couldn't hear or see, because like the input that was going in wasn't being processed like in my brain, which is crazy to think about now. And then when we got in the car, I literally remember I was also at this point in my life, I was watching a lot of Grey's Anatomy and they're constantly like clipping aneurysms and like dealing with neurological like disorders. And so Dr. Derek Shepherd, and so I remember like sitting in your car being like, oh my gosh, I think I'm having an aneurysm. Like something is wrong, David. Like, and I was just trying to tell you, like, something is wrong. My brain's not working correctly. I can't think of words. I can't think of my name. I can't comprehend anything that's going on right now. And so that's so funny hearing your perspective because there's like a gap where like I literally didn't catalog any memory because my brain wasn't working.
Yeah.
And so my mom was like, you need to get your blood sugar up. Like,
I'm so glad she knew that because even Megan, when she like got around to me, she didn't know what to do, and I was like, "Cool, we're done."
Yeah, it was so scary. But I remember being like, "Dang, we're gonna be close after this," because I'm like literally dying in David's car. My brain is not functioning correctly. I'm not getting enough oxygen to my brain, and I don't remember my name. And I'm with this weird kid, David, who's like kind of sarcastic and annoying, and like
I still get it. Yeah. No, I
don't know.
At the moment, I didn't think we were gonna be friends. I remember driving you home, and I was just like, "This isn't like this is the last time I'll see this girl, and probably for the best. And this will never make our friendship because this is the worst experience for either of us." But yeah, what an experience! And now we're like, oh man, all the stories we could tell.
Dude,
but we're not gonna because we're progressing. You almost what?
I almost died. I almost died.
Yeah.
In your care.
In the worst care
until
you
we
could have
called
died
my
in.
mom.
Probably everybody else of our friends would have been a better help than me.
Literally. You had no idea what to do. That's okay.
Honestly, Luke at least would have been like, oh, my survival sense from firefighting could kick in, and he would, like, elevate you or something. I don't know. Or, like, Julia would have been like, I know who to contact. I know how to contact them. That would have happened. Then I'm there.
You were just like, call your mom, I guess? Like,
yeah, like
even though she's 600 miles away?
Yeah. And then when I finally met her, she was just like, oh, you're the one that pronounces my daughter's name wrong. Right? Something like that.
Because you say Ava.
Ava, because that's normal. Ava's just weird. It's not as nice. Ava sounds fun.
Ava.
Anyways, are you ready to get into, like, these conversations?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. This was really starting big, but, what is a skill you just want to master? Like if tomorrow, you don't even have to have any prior knowledge. If you could just tomorrow know something fully, what would it be?
You go first this time.
Okay. I feel like it's kind of lame because I could learn anything, but I really want to know guitar and be like to the point where I'm just douchey about it. Like, I go to, like, a party, and I was like, oh, we got a guitar here? Well, I guess I can play a song. I don't really know. And then I just...
Sure.
Yeah. And then I just start, like, hammering on, like, Wonderwall. And, yeah, that's... Exactly. But I'd, like, do it really good, so people are like, wow, you're really good. And I'm like, oh, well, it's nothing, you know? And
Thank you.
Like, oh, I don't get that all the time, but, yeah. That would be a dream. Just to have that kind of skill level. Like, not actually do that, because I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of miss that about GCU. I miss all the douchebags that, like, would play guitar in places where you don't play guitar. But they would justify it because it'd be worship music.
Yeah.
And they'd be doing all, like, the song inflections that don't belong there just so they can show off to every, like, blonde girl that goes to our school. And that's, like, every girl.
Yeah, for real.
God.
I miss it.
I do miss
what a
that.
culture here. GCU culture is so interesting to me.
Write a book on it.
For real.
Ooh.
I think...
I just thought of one.
This is just a thought.
Okay.
But, dang, this is like such a dumb thought.
Probably. Tell me anyways.
Dude, I don't know. This is like the hardest question
just say
to ask me. I'm a 7. I want to do everything.
Oh, I'm
like how?
Back. Gross.
Have you? I like no, but literally, like I want to do everything because like guitar is something that I thought of, but then I'm not gonna answer the same as you, and I also think that's a really attractive quality. I don't know if it's something like.
Oh yeah.
I think something that I would really like to just like. I was thinking writing.
Yeah? Well,
and just like if I could master writing, I think like fiction writing.
Ooh. Well, that brings me to my next question. No, actually, I'll let you finish this.
Okay.
Because I thought of a question while we were doing this, but keep going.
I thought of writing, but I was literally thinking about that like this morning. I was thinking like, dang, maybe I want to be a writer.
Hey, you can always join me on my little expeditions.
Yeah, like maybe that would be really, really cool, being a writer. But I also think analyzing like behavior, if I could just like master that, or dang, David, this question sucks.
Does it?
There's so many others.
Because those go hand in hand. Writing and analyzing behavior. That's why I like to just like probe people.
Yeah, just master. I wish I could just master the ability to read people.
Read people, and honestly, as soon as you start writing people, you'll realize how people are, and that's like I think the greatest thing I learned about in college is just like how like
cool.
Oh yeah, dude, we should like do a writing thing just so you can do that, and also I need a writing friend. If you could write a book about anything, what would it be on? Have you thought about this?
Joking. Are you joking?
Have you thought about this before? I've thought about this with one story. Because I always think about, like, how I can make a story into, like, what kind of medium, like, whether it be a script or, like, a poem or, like, a song or, like, and it's only happened with a book. But, yeah. What about you?
That's
Have you?
Cool. I've not thought about that before, but...
Never? You've never wanted to make a book? I would have white noise. For the viewers checking in, Zoe's AirPods died, and now...
Oh, wait. No. I can... Let me...
It's fine.
No! David, my computer's gonna... My computer's gonna start, like, whirring.
If they made it this far in the episode, they're willing to watch anything else.
Okay.
I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so have you ever thought about, like, writing a story? Or what's a story you'd want to hear about? Or, like, write?
I think, like, the best stories are the fantasy series. Like, Harry Potter took over the world. If I could write a series like that, then I would be, like, the most accomplished human ever.
You just want the fame about it? You wouldn't want to have, like, a personal thing to you or nothing like that?
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like
or like,
this is going to happen.
Dang. I think I would like to write a book about each, like, close personal friend.
Okay.
And go through, like, my perspective on who they are, because I'm really, really observant, and I notice, like, all the little details.
And humble.
And so,
sorry. I'm sorry. No. I can't say this to anybody else on this podcast.
I've noticed, like, you're more noticeable than I am. You're, like, one of the most, like, observant people I've ever met. But I would consider myself, like, a fairly observant person.
You are.
And, I really, like, care about the opinions that I have on other people and stuff like that. And so all of the, like, really close friends at one point in my life, or the people that are close in my life, I would like to write just almost like a little novel about them, and, like, all the memories that I have and the details that I noticed, and just cute little things, and then, like, put them all on a compilation and have, like, the David chapters and, like, the Sierra chapters and the Julia chapters and the PJ chapters and, like,
yeah, no,
all really of that cool. And then, like, kind of see how they intertwine amongst each other, like, almost like a character study, but characters of my life.
Words. But no, I really like that. Would you do, like, there's definitely examples of this, cannot think of, like, Pulp Fiction. Have you seen Pulp Fiction?
No.
It's on the list of movies I put for you to watch. But, like, basically, that movie is, like, a whole bunch of, like, it's one narrative, but it's a whole bunch of different stories, and, like, different characters having, like, we start off with two hitmen, and they're, like, stealing a briefcase, and then, like, later on we see one of the hitmen has to take, like, his boss's, like, wife on a date, and so it's just, like, everybody kind of connects in some ways, and some people don't connect, and it's, like, one big story that, like, has nothing to do with each other, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, like, it's really cool
that
in
would
that
be,
way. And,
that
like,
would be really cool.
You could so do that with your life.
Well, yeah, because, like, all these people are connected through me, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, through each other. Like, a lot of them, I'm best friends with a lot of them, but a lot of them are also best friends. Exactly. So, like, connecting them and their relationships to each other.
Because you can have your own story about, like, how you and Luke, whatever, and then you'd be like, oh, now I know David because of it, and somehow that crosses over.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And, like, a crossover episode. That's what I would write.
I like that. That's good. I like that.
A character study of all of the, like, close people in my life.
What do you think it's gonna like make it obvious that we were gone? Like, should I have like a little intermission or something? It's just like a monkey, and it's like do 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 do.
Oh, sure,
it's
and then be
dancing.
like, "Hey, things
Technical
didn't work, and now we're
difficulties,
back."
and there's just Chubby Wubby like sitting there with a kazoo in his mouth, and like kazoo music playing.
Sure.
Also, that's Chubby Wubby. Have I introduced you? Fine.
No.
This is like my childhood
Chubby
bear, and
Wubby.
then I found him like before, like maybe a week before this. So I was like, okay, let's throw him in there. And I think he's a good symbol.
That's funny.
I should make my YouTube account just his face.
Okay.
You ready for this next question? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. If you could see one thing before going blind forever, what would it be? What's your face?
My child.
Your child? Do you have a child?
Yeah. No, I don't have a child, but like my future child.
Your future child? You don't have a child yet. It doesn't count. It has to be like.
I want to
if you
know
got
what they
blind
look like.
tomorrow. That's cute. No, I'm not giving you that.
No, give me that. I want to see
No.
what my future child will look like.
What
and, like,
matters to you
see
now?
I can't be like a future thing.
No. I mean, it's a good answer if that was true. Maybe too easy if that was true. But
If it was true.
If it was
If it
true.
was
You don't
true.
have a
If it
child.
was
Don't pretend you do. Your actual life that you live currently in 2022. What
What would I want to see before going
Is it-
blind?
What do you want to see before going blind?
Dang. I guess
It could be multiple answers.
I really want to see Italy and
Like
Greece.
the entire city.
Yeah. Or just like, this is a hard question. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, there's so many. Like I would want to watch
Name
like
'em,
my
dude.
favorite. I would want to watch my favorite movies again. I would want to go to my
I'll
favorite
give you one
places.
movie. What movie?
Harry Potter,
Just give me one. Harry Potter. Which one?
the third.
The third one. The one with Batman.
Prisoner. Huh?
With Pattinson.
You said I thought you said Batman. Oh, you did say Batman.
Yeah, Robert
No,
Pattinson
he's not in
is
that one.
Batman
He's in the.
now. Oh,
He's
in
the
the fifth
third.
one, I
He's in the
think.
fourth one.
The fourth
Fourth.
one. That one's my favorite one.
Yeah.
It's
The
just
third one is my favorite. Prisoner of Azkaban.
Azkaban? Is that the one where the rat
But-
turns into a guy? I'm not
Dang,
sure.
just going blind would be like the worst thing ever.
Probably. That's why a lot of people don't like to do it. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know. I know a couple alcoholics, but still.
10 out of 10 would not recommend going
Yeah.
blind.
Been there, done that. Not a fan. But yeah.
Are you saying something that like I don't have like one place that I would like to go see?
Or like a place or a person or a thing or a
I don't know. I have like
idea, a noun.
like I said want to see my parents and my friends one more time, but like I'm a super visual person. Like I think in visuals, and
That's why this would work so well. You get one thing that you can look at. You can look at a sunset or something, but it's just like, that's why it shows your priorities, Zoe. It's just like, yeah, you want to see all your friends, your family, Italy, but if we had a choice for one thing, come on, it's a good question. You gotta admit, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
pretty good. I think I'd go like up to the Rocky Mountains where I used to camp as a kid.
And what would you want to see there specifically? Like, to know, like, I'm satisfied now, what would you...
I would just want to like drive through the mountains. That's what I would do on like a rainy day. I just
Keep
want to
going.
see it.
Keep going.
I just want
This
to
is
see it, just
interesting.
like
Just give us, like, that visual idea of it. Keep giving us. The more you give us,
like
the
the
better
way. Okay.
this is. Ironically, close your eyes to tell me you're going blind.
Driving through like there's like a 2-lane road up when you get pretty high, and you like go around every bend, and you're just like in the valleys between these two massive hills, and like the terrain changes. Like one moment you're looking out at a valley and it's like a field of like cows, and then like the mountains immediately next to you become rocks and cliffs, and like you go from cliffs to trees to like ponderosa pines to aspens and like all of the different things that you would see. But when it's raining and you're listening to like your favorite music in the whole world, it's my favorite feeling, and it's a feeling that I can never like comprehend to other people. And it's like a feeling that I've had growing up in Colorado, just kidding, that was a disgusting sentence. I hated that. We're going backwards.
Yeah, no, that was kind of rough. I didn't notice it until you said it.
Yes.
But no, you're getting really good. I love this.
When I was growing up in Colorado, like, my dad would take us to the mountains, and it was always my favorite place, because, like, all four of, like, my family would be together, and, like, my dog would be in the car, and we'd be driving to, like, my most favorite places in the world. It's what I always look forward to. And then when I got my license, I was always the one, like, to drive my friends around, and I have this one really vivid memory of this, like, perfect day where we went up and we hiked Mount Evans, and it was, like, super foresty, like, squishy soil ground, and it was, like, cloudy outside, and we were hiking through these trees, and it started getting dark, and we were like, shit, we have to get back, and so we, like, raced back to the car. And then we went to my favorite, like, pizza place in Idaho Springs, because Idaho Springs is, like, my favorite little mountain town. It's, like, easily accessible for me. And then we went to Idaho Springs, and we had, in this really old building, there's this old pizza place called Bojo's, and they make, like, Colorado mountain pies, and they're so freaking good. Oh, they're so good. And then we, like, got back in my car, and I remember, like, this Surfaces song that was playing, and we were driving back home, but it was raining. So, like, we weren't hiking in the rain. We were hiking kind of, it was, like, foggy enough to where it was, like, perfect. And then it started drizzling while we were hiking. And by the time we were driving home, it was raining. And my friends were kind of, like, nodding off, and I was the one driving. And I love driving, and I love, like, downshifting. It sounds so stupid, but I love it. I love off-roading. That's, like, something that I would really like to do, and just driving and all that kind of stuff. So I was driving home, and there's, like, one Surfaces song was playing, and it was raining, and I had, like, the windshield wipers all the way up, and it was, like, most people would be terrified to drive in, like, conditions like that, but it like, gives me so much comfort. It's, like, the place that I feel the most safe. And I was actually thinking about it today, because I think I want to get it tattooed somewhere. I think I want, like, a car window, and then, like, that memory.
That's cute. I love that. That was really good. That was good.
Thanks.
I couldn't think of one. I know I forced you to think of that, and I kind of got lost in your story, so I didn't. It took me like 25 minutes to think of that. I know, I just got lost in your story. I started picturing it. Okay, now I gotta close my eyes to see this, because I thought of a couple things, and I'll run through them, and then I'll decide. Because the first one was just, like, I want to see, like, a couple paintings, just, like Renaissance ones, because I really love the colors they use on there, where it's, like, that pastel kind of, like, it's still vibrant, but it's not like if somebody anywhere I know did them. I think that'd be really cool. Although I've never seen those, so it's kind of hypocritical, because I didn't let you have a kid. So.
True.
Then I thought I want to be at, like, a duck park, because there's one by my house that I've never really liked, but, like, there's a fountain there, and all these ducks hang around there, and they're really cute, and, I don't know. I feel like it'd be hard to picture a duck after I've been blind for so long, so maybe that would be, like, a good way to kind of send off. Or, like, I don't know. I don't think I'll reach a conclusion, but I think another good one is, like, if I could just see Disneyland, like, at the very minute it opens, and just watching everybody walking through, and just, like, the excitement they have no matter what they look like, and it'd be so many different. You could look at everybody and not find the same person twice, and then you'd probably not even find the same reaction, even though it's, like, similar. I think that'd be, like, a really cool last sight. And just, like, a good way to, like, appreciate people for the last time without ever seeing them again. But yeah, that's my answer.
Appreciating people for the last time. That was cool. I like that one.
But yeah,
dang.
Let's make things lighter. Jesus. Yeah.
Our whole episode has been, like, so effing deep.
Yeah, I think we even had, like, a not, like, dark question, but, like, our deep question.
And we made it dark.
Yeah, we made it kind of there. So, I'm going to give you one that we did last week. Because I know you haven't heard it yet. So, if you were to die reincarnate, what would you be? Come on, this is a fun one.
Taylor
gave me fun answers.
I thought it was going to be a deep one.
No.
Die and reincarnate.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say... No, you can be humans.
You can be human?
You can be a human, but like a specific kind. Because I chose to be like a carnival barker, I think that's what they're called. And that was mine. And then Taylor wanted to be a ninja. And then we did like some that were like animals. But like, I only ask you one.
My first thought is like a dog. Because dogs are like limited to like certain emotions. Ooh. And so like being able to experience like the amount of loyalty that a dog has and the amount of just like initial love for a person, they don't even understand. Like it's just pure emotion. Like they don't have to think to act. They just act. And there's no like thought process or reasoning or justifying behind it. It's just like what they love, they love. And I think living like that simply would be like just so beautiful.
That's such a good answer, Kimmy. That got so deep. That was good. That was good.
Sorry.
I can't even like, whoa, like now I'm thinking about like, oh, I don't appreciate my dog. She's sleeping right here and I'm just like, shut up.
Right? But she just wants to sleep. It's like her initial reaction. She feels safe with you. She feels safe in the room and she feels comfortable. So she just sleeps. She doesn't think about it.
Dogs get insomnia. She's just like,
no,
it's time to sleep.
she doesn't. She's not like plagued by all the worry and anxiety that she feels as she's going to bed about like what's going on in her day. She doesn't have to deal with any of that. Like she's just tired. She's just plain tired.
Like, hey, I just took a nap. I walked across the room. I deserve another nap. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like go for it.
Yeah, she's just simply living.
Simple living.
But like it's so, you know, like a dog's life is like defined by the love of their owners. It's really cool.
Keep going. I like that. You got more.
That's what I'm like saying is like all of their like actions and motivations are either, all of their actions are either motivated by like basic survival dog skills, like the things that God gave them, or revolve around their owners and just like the simple love that they have for them.
That's wild. Would you say that children are the same way?
No.
No? But like, wouldn't you say that like a child's like at least happiness is revolved around like the like love they receive from their parents or something? Maybe attention.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess at a young age. But I think like
children when you get older now, but because kids and babies are kind of like the same at some point. When babies crawl everywhere and they're just like only want like food, I'm like, yeah, dogs do that too.
I guess. I just think dogs are more pure. Like because humans have higher thinking capabilities, once a child like gets to the point where they have an inner voice, then like it becomes complicated. You know? Then they just like it's like, wow, welcome to being a human. You now have a conscience. Sucks to suck.
Imagine dogs had inner voices. That would not be fun no more. I don't think so.
They don't, because they can't ever express them. But like once a child has an inner voice, like then they have to deal with all of those thoughts. Also, children are really selfish. Like it's all about survival. It's all about like, what do I need? Okay, I need a bottle. I'm gonna cry. Okay, I need like.
Hey, people are the same.
My parents. I'm gonna cry. I know. That's why like living a human life like kind of sucks in that way. It's just called
customer service. That's all it comes back.
We all just live for customer service.
Oh God, the world revolves around it. Is that true? I kind of think that's true. I guess that's the capitalism truth.
Yeah.
But damn, I kind of used mine last week, and I don't want to reuse it.
Then don't. We can move on to another
I'm trying
question.
I'm trying to think of something fun. We've already gone deep, but I'm scared it's gonna turn deep. And I like, do I even bother change it? What if I'm like a? What if I'm like a?
I can think of something that's not deep.
Okay, go for it.
I also just think it would be cool to be a whale. Imagine being the biggest thing on Earth.
What the fuck? Where did that come from?
Like, that's that was so the opposite big.
Of everything. Like, this whole podcast didn't happen. I just don't know.
Whales are so big. And they don't even have, like, the muscles or bones to, like, understand their sizing. They're just fat.
Damn.
And they just exist. They just exist to, like, swim. And how do they go that deep and hold their breath for that long? And experience life.
No, they just breathe water, right? Right? I don't know if you're right about that, honestly. No, I'm right about this. You're not.
But the whales have blowholes.
What do they do with that? What is the purpose of like a...
What is the purpose
It's called
of
blubber?
a
It's called
blowhole?
blubber, right?
It's just like fun to exhale.
Part of the whale is called blubber.
I mean, I guess like a good sigh feels really nice every once in a while.
That's
Like
just
when
why
you
they
wake
have
up and
it,
get out
yeah.
of bed and you're just like,
That's what they're doing. They're just like,
Yeah.
Mondays.
It's like they can breathe the water. You know, when you breathe, you don't have to make a sound. Like you can just breathe in and out. But every once in a while, a good sigh, it feels good. So they're breathing the water, going in and out of their gills. But every once in a while, they're just like.
Yeah, there's no way. I'm not buying it. But
they're allowed to sigh. There's things going on in their life that they get to sigh about.
no. Because why don't other animals have it? Why can't giraffes sigh?
They can.
Can they?
It almost
They
makes
probably can.
noises.
They have nose, yeah.
Have you ever heard a dog sigh? Like when
Well,
my
dogs
dog
do sigh.
sighs.
My
dog
dog sighed
sighs
when
all
you
the
said
time.
that, actually.
Yeah.
Like, not even joking. She gave it like a...
Yeah, you know when dogs are like,
in her
they
voice,
like
man.
adjust and they like figure out where they want to lay and then they're like.
How would it be a
They
dog
sigh.
in a bed?
They sigh,
Sigh.
right? I think whales sigh too.
That's really comforting to think of. I don't think you're right still, but that's really comforting.
I am correct. I'm so correct. Like whenever
I think
animals are going to
water
sleep
just
and
gets
like
stuck in them or something, and they just... Yeah. Anyways, can I say what mine is?
yeah.
I want to say mine. It was,
Okay.
I didn't forget it. I'm gonna remember. I didn't forget it. It was a person. It was a kind of person. It was an interesting one, and I'm gonna hate you if I forgot it, because we're talking about whales so long. Oh, no.
Sighing whales.
So mad at you. It was a person that was interesting, and it gave me back in time vibes, and I want to be a newsie. That's what I would be.
A newsie?
You know, like the movie, but like
Yeah.
in real life, and just like
Yeah.
handing out papers for a nickel, like kind of like that. Is that too close to Carnival Barker? That might be, because you know it's extra. No, I'm gonna stick with newsie because I'm just.
It is pretty close. What's up with you and newspapers?
What? Do I mention newspapers a lot? No, I don't.
Extra. Read all about it.
That would be a newsie, yeah. And that's just my past life. It's just leaking into my modern.
Alright.
Or like, no, I don't even care anymore. I'm moving
Why
on.
do you wanna be a newsie?
I just feel like, can you not see me doing that? Just like got the little like the schmoozy pizzazz of like, hey, you need a paper, sir.
Yeah, I can see you.
Mr. Beauregard, you missed last week's issue.
Swindling people into buying newspapers from you.
Yeah. This one has your name on it.
Oh my god.
That would be me.
Alright.
And then I'd get like, yeah, and then I have like crutches or something because I'm like a fraud, but that would be me.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see myself doing that. I don't know if that says something about my worth ethic, but like, anyways.
Okay.
Next question. Oh, that's a deep one. Dude, I'm not feeling another deep one yet. We gotta earn it.
We need something lighthearted.
Okay, here's one. No, that one's kind of lame. What about, just your favorite historical figure? Do you have one? You give me, like, Rosa Parks vibes, and I can't tell you why.
Sure.
Yeah, we're so gonna do an episode that just, like, redoes everything for this. Like, in the
Yeah,
future.
literally.
Like, episode 24, 20 episodes later. God, do you think we'll get
I
to 24?
think, like...
I don't think so.
Oh, hold on. I can think of a historical figure.
Okay,
I don't think of, like, a specific person, though. I think of just, like, people. Like biblical people. I think of them a
people
lot.
groups or just, like, people in the Bible?
People in the Bible.
Okay,
like,
give me your favorite Bible character.
No, I don't have a character. I just think, honestly,
Maybe David.
a side character.
Side character?
That was gross. A side character in the Bible.
By David
like,
comment? No.
Like people that just like get to witness everything going on. I think that's really cool.
No, I'm still gonna stick with my David thing. I'm not letting that pass.
Okay.
Listen, this is why David's great in the Bible, and I wouldn't say this because it's my name. Maybe I recognize it because of it, but like, listen. So before him, his predecessor, is that how you say that?
Yeah.
The person that came before him was Saul, And Saul was like the guy. Like, we need a king. That's our guy. And so they hire him to be their guy. And he kind of like fucks it up. Like, he's doing really good at first. And there's a lot of good stories about him. And then he's like a total bad guy for the rest of like the other books he's in. And then David comes along. And he's like, so I see you've messed up. This is where I'm risen above. He starts off with a really good story. And he kills a giant. And that's like, and it's a really impressive, like, this is how I became king. And then he has like a whole bunch of like stories about how he's just like a bad person. Maybe not a whole bunch. He has that big story, you know. He kills the guy over the rubber duck. And
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. We learned when VeggieTales defined our childhood.
Yeah, VeggieTales was actually historically accurate on that. So he does that. And he's kind of a bad guy. I don't know when that happens, to be honest, but he has a lot of good war stories. He has a lot of good fights against like Saul, and they're like kind of psychological. Yeah. Like, I love this one where he like rips his robe and he's like, I could have killed you. I could have killed you. And like, I think that would have been a good laugh. I imagine he would have gotten back with that piece of robe like to his camp and like, guys. And that would have been very funny. Yeah. And then he has a lot of stories of where he's just like, it's like maybe Psalms or maybe Proverbs where he's like, I'm freaking out, I'm wigging out, I'm not having a good time, like, what's going on here? And then he's just like completely messed up. And then he's like, oh, I'm worshiping, but I'm naked because I'm like really into it. It's like, this guy has some stories to tell. I think he really would be fun at a party.
He has so many like layers to him too, because you know he's like such a good warrior and such a good, like he's so good in battle, and so like that's why people think like when Jesus comes, he's gonna be like that type of king. Yeah. But at the same time, he's really super flawed, yeah. But then he's also like super musical, and a whole writer. Like, have you read those songs? Man had so many talents.
You think so? Sometimes I'm like, just like, hey, this isn't good enough, Chief. Like, no, put this on the EP.
Put this on the EP.
This isn't main albumship, dude. Like,
he writes like musical songs and he laments and he's like he worships for so long. Like, but at this
wait. I want to ask you: do you think David had like a recording studio, so to speak, where he would write and he'd just be like, God, just kind of messing around in the studios? Gonna label this one Psalm 49. And then he's like, no, that was good. So. This 113.
I don't know, but I think he had to have like some sort of system, you know? Like you can't just write on a whim. And so like what was his place? What was his, like, he has to write with this specific pen and he needs this paper and he needs like he needs to be looking at this. What mood does he need to be in?
I have an idea. Do you think, because in Psalms, there's like, I don't know if he's the main writer, but he's one of the main ones. And there's a whole bunch of other dudes in it. Is that in any way like an artist collaboration? Where he was like, we got Absalom in the booth here. He's going to spit some
That was funny.
I'm not going to put it past him. I think that was, like, really a palpable thing that could have happened. Sorry for cutting you off.
Like, hey, I really want you to collab on this. I really want you to collab on this thing with me. I think it'd be super sick. Like, let's just vibe and see what we come up with.
We got chapter 50 just worship coming up. The Lord. I really want you to be a part of this.
Yeah, let's just worship the Lord together.
Yeah, a psalm written by David, Feet Absalom.
I just think it's so cool to put, like, biblical stories into perspective, because we read them as if they were so far away from us. And like so far off from our modern day world, and like there are cultural differences, and there are like spiritual differences, like how the Lord like interacted with the people and how the Lord was present in the temple, and like versus the Holy Spirit, and like it is like completely different. But imagine like what did this guy look like? Samson literally pulled down like pillars on buildings with his bare hands. But like,
I want to know.
How did he do that?
I don't know, but I want to say for our viewers listening, just tell us whatever funniest story you think would like have there's a story that would have a very funny real life application.
Yeah, in the Bible.
There's I think was it a Twitter thread? No, it was a Reddit thread on TikTok that I saw where it was like, describe a Bible story as a Florida man tweet. And it's like Florida man like kills thousands with jawbone of a donkey. Or like
that's funny.
But yeah.
People get swallowed up whole by
man gets swallowed by whale, shows up 3 days later on Florida Beach, yeah. It could just keep going. That's the thing. Oh, God.
It sounded real. Man gets swallowed up by a whale. Shows up 3 days later.
Florida Beach. But
oh my gosh, that's funny.
I think we spent a lot of time on this topic. I say we switch it back up.
Okay.
Anyways, if you had to spend $200 in one day, what would you spend it on?
$200 in
No.
one day?
Like, it doesn't have to be... No, you have to spend it that day, yeah. That's the rule.
Dude, I love clothes.
You had to spend it on clothes?
I go to Urban Outfitters. It's my biggest weakness. I know it's shallow. I know it's superficial.
It's just really in the box. I don't know.
Dude, yeah.
I don't think anybody else would have said otherwise. Give me something interesting. Just, like, impractical.
Impractical.
Impractical. Yeah, that's what I like. Just like something like, well, I had $200 anyways, so I might as well spend it on that.
Hmm.
No?
$200.
What's the funniest thing you could buy with $200?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. What would you do with said hot
$200.
dogs?
Pass them out to homeless people.
It's kind of not funny. I mean, could be, but...
I'm sorry, I'm not funny enough for your
Listen,
podcast.
I'm trying to... Honestly, God.
Jeez, my bad. Dude, I don't know. I don't
do.
think like you. You're funnier than I am. I'm sorry.
She said it in the podcast. What if I just ended it there? Never shot another
Please,
episode.
studio.
I was just waiting for somebody to say that. What would I...
Oh my god.
Alright, I'll give you something funny then. I'll give you something...
Okay.
Ooh, I know. I'd buy like $200 worth of like mashed potatoes that you like wet to expand. You know what I mean? They're like $1.
Mhm.
And can't tell you where I'd put them because I don't know where yet.
A bathtub.
No, that's too small scale. I'm thinking big. Like maybe if I went to like somebody's house.
Pool?
No,
What if we bought $200 worth of instant mashed potatoes and put them in someone's pool?
That would be a nightmare, dude. I like it. I like what you're thinking. But
Like
what
a-
if we put them in like a building, like a very popular building with like sprinklers?
Mhm.
Everywhere inside is done. We win. We set up the sprinkler.
We win.
That's
Mashed
how,
potatoes sprayed everywhere.
If I had a company and I had a rival business, that's what I would do.
Okay.
Because, like, okay,
You have to put it in like you'd have to put it in the specific water line that like goes through the sprinklers.
Well, no, you
might
just
be
have to
kind of
lay
hard.
them down. No, because if you put them inside the sprinklers, they'll get stuck in there, and then you'll just ruin their sewage.
Oh,
and
you mean like put the instant
So
mashed
hear me
potatoes
out.
everywhere and then turn on the sprinklers.
20 years in the future, we got McDavid's. And we're kind of hitting off, but the
McDavid.
remainder of McDonald's is just not giving us what we need for like customers.
Okay.
So there's one across the street. We just go in there, lay them all over the counters, all over the floor. Sprinklers. We leave.
Boom.
We've won. They're never getting out
Expanded
of
mashed
there.
potatoes.
Everybody's gonna show up like, oh, you're serving mashed potatoes now? And they're like, no, and then they have to close business because false advertising.
We'll leave a carton of butter.
Why butter?
There's some gravy with it.
Oh, all right. Just be like, good luck. Like, enjoy.
Good luck.
Only-
Have fun. I like that answer.
Only way out of this is to eat it.
The only way out. Eat the mashed potatoes.
This one really died out, I'm not gonna lie. We both lost enthusiasm on it, but that's the
That's
idea.
okay. That's fine.
Are you like really drained right now? I'm pretty drained, but I want to keep this going.
Yeah. I'm like tired
It's
now.
okay, we're towards the end. We've almost done this for
Okay,
2
okay.
hours plus.
Okay.
But, what's a holiday you want your kids to celebrate? It could be real, it could be one you make up. Shoot. You thought of something? Look very defeated.
I thought of something real. But we're gonna stray away from it, okay?
Now you're getting it.
We're gonna stray away. I think it'd be really cool to have. Oh, that's also deep. I'm sorry, I'm a deep
No, do
thinker.
it. I'm gonna leave you at it.
I think it would also be cool if we celebrated like a no modern world day.
Explain.
So like maybe even a week or maybe like a couple days a year where everyone puts away like phones, TVs, microwaves, ovens,
Oh, whoa.
like not just social media and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I thought this was a
no
white mom
modern
thinking, but no,
world.
this is...
No,
Whoa,
no
so
modern
Amish
world.
steak, basically?
No cars, no, like, electric lights, no anything like that. No running water.
Can you... What? No, that's insane. I don't like that.
No running water, like, a no modern world day.
Can't wash my hands.
And basically, we're stranded. We just have to live off the land and live off of each other. And, like, it makes them appreciate life a little bit more.
That's awful. What, you gotta use the bathroom? What are you gonna do for your kids?
Pee out in the woods. You're fine.
I hate that.
It's basically like a version. It's basically like a version of camping, but like.
I guess.
But like we could do it at home.
Can you have modern foods, or is it just like, oh, we're eating like?
No, we have to like make our own food.
So you're just Amish then? That's really what you're boiling it down to.
I mean, I guess we can make them like with a fire in our backyard and make our food on the fire.
You guys gonna gather around and read the Bible and like Jedediah will give the prayer today. Sorry, I'm not. No. I don't want to sit on your holiday.
I don't think it would be. I don't think we wouldn't extend it like super far. Like maybe we would have running water and electricity, but like.
I'd say you can cut out electricity. I can see why that would be, and it would be fun to just be like camp in the backyard, like no microwave today.
Yeah, camp in the backyard. Like obviously we're gonna go camping, and like when we go camping, like we won't have those things, which will be like good in itself. Yeah. But it would be fun to do it like at home. Like in our house, no electricity, camp in the backyard, take care of yourselves. Like we'll prepare for it, we'll like buy food for it and stuff. But no modern world day.
Normally,
like
or
no
can
one
you dress like a cowboy? Like what's the?
Do whatever you want. If my kids want to dress like cowboys, they can. But like
even if
you can wear your normal clothes. But it's just like no one goes to work this day. No one drives a car this day. We just focus on like having fun with each other, playing with our dog, and like living it up.
All right, I'll give you that one. That was a good one.
Okay, thanks.
I want to celebrate Groundhog Day. That's what it's gonna be. Like,
what are you gonna do for Groundhog Day?
Like, we'd have like little knitted hats for my kids, you know, just like little groundhog heads, and just like, I would just make it seem like it's a real holiday. Like, I want them to go to school being really like surprised that nobody else celebrates it. I'm like, what do you mean? You guys don't like put up a groundhog tree and like have Bill Murray as the star, and you know, we're really like. We watched like it's like Super Bowl, not Super Bowl Sunday, like Thanksgiving football, but we're watching Punxsutawney Phil look at his shadow, and we're like, oh my god, he looked.
You're like waking up super. All the kids wake up super early in the morning. Come on, we're gonna go watch the groundhog.
Did the groundhog leave us gifts? But it would be like really like not even gifts. It would be like a strange thing that a groundhog could leave you. Like, did it leave us like what's a weird thing, like Twinkies maybe? Just like, well, groundhogs love Twinkies. That's their diet. See, I didn't want to go there, and I'm not gonna go there. But just like it leaves like a really
thing, like a groundhog could actually leave you, like poop.
I guess that's the only thing they could and would leave you. But like, what if it's just like a really weird thing? Like, oh my god,
what if you put like little chocolate covered?
No, we're not doing that. That's what people do for like Easter, isn't it? I want to do like
I have chocolate covered almonds in my like thing right now, and you could like leave a little trail, like leave it to the TV.
No, I don't want them believing that.
Okay.
I would just be like, oh, did the Punxsutawney Phil leave us a sourdough Jack from Jack in the Box this morning? I'm like, oh.
I think it's kind of humiliating, though.
It's really specific things. Well, I think like they can grow to love it, and like I don't know.
Okay, so but it wouldn't be like a.
It wouldn't be a joke on them.
And, like, yeah, it wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Like
be,
I think we would even tell them. We would tell them, but it would be like so when they get to school, they're not like embarrassed by it, but they'd be like, oh, when we go home, we're gonna go watch Groundhog Day. For like our
it's like a cute little thing my family does.
Yeah, your family doesn't celebrate. And like
that's cute. We'll
have shirts and everything. I don't know. What else could you do for a Groundhog Day?
I don't know. Have like a specific meal every year.
You gotta have a blanket fort to like resemble what this like the groundhog is.
The kids sleep in a blanket fort when they're little.
Exactly, and they poke their heads. That's how you get out of it. You're just like it's like a tunnel at the top, and
that's so cute. I love that. You should do it.
Groundhog Day. I love that.
Groundhog Day.
And yeah, we'll just have like special festivities. Like we'll have the roasted groundhog over the fire. I don't know.
That's really cool. And they'll grow up saying, like, we celebrated Groundhog Day.
See? Thank you,
I'm in love with the idea, actually.
Yeah. Can you start this? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll get everybody that's been on this podcast to, like, celebrate Groundhog Day.
Yeah, commit to celebrating Groundhog Day with your kids, everybody.
Yeah, hashtag.
Hashtag.
Commit to celebrate.
I was gonna say that. Hashtag Groundhog Day movement. Hashtag
There you go.
kids believe in groundhogs.
Yes. Believe in
Hashtag
groundhogs like
groundhogs.
they don't exist.
We believe in groundhogs.
We believe in groundhogs in this house, yeah. They'll just be on the plaque year round.
Pakistanani Phil is real.
And, like, you gotta, like...
He's important.
It's not even just, like, a subtle, like, you put up, like a banner. You have to, like, put, like, groundhogs in your family photos and stuff. We'll just edit them in there. It's a whole thing.
That's funny. You have, like, your Easter pictures, your Christmas pictures, your 4th of July pictures, and your Groundhog Day pictures.
Yeah, you send them out, too, and it's the whole thing.
Post on social media.
You dress as lumberjacks, too. You dress as lumberjacks.
That's cute.
It has to happen.
Cute.
Maybe it's an adult thing. Like, you have to be 18 to dress as a lumberjack. Otherwise, you're just like a groundhog. But, like, it's the whole thing. Let's get this going.
All the children run around dressed like groundhogs.
Exactly. And we play, like, whack-a-mole.
And they, like, watch their shadows. I'm in love. We dress up the family dogs like groundhogs and they run around so that they like jump up on the couches and beds and stuff.
Exactly.
It's like celebrating. It's like a celebration.
We spend like a minute just jumping. That's like, oh,
you can buy stuffed groundhogs. Stuffed groundhogs
yes.
at the dollar section at Target. Groundhog Day decorations every year. They show up way too early.
Yeah, it's become such a season thing that like during Christmas you see Groundhog Day decor.
The Groundhog Day decorations are like 3 months early, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's not time yet. Make sure everyone has their Pakistani Phil costumes.
Oh my god, you're dressing like a lumberjack in January? Come on.
Oh my gosh, this is so early. They're already selling lumberjacks and groundhogs.
Can't even listen to the radio. All they're playing is Groundhog Day music. I don't know what it's going to be. Is it going to be polka music? Is it going to be strictly Katy Perry songs? Like, we don't know.
Strictly Katy Perry songs? I'm thinking, like...
She drops a polka album and then that's it?
Oh my god.
No, it would be, not polka per se, but, like, accordion music. And, like, every year the father has to, like, play an accordion song. But it's like a modern song. Just like, this is Welcome to the Black Parade. And it's like... Yeah, you all sing it around the
oh my gosh, I hate you.
Groundhog stump.
The Groundhog Day scandals. The Groundhog Day scandals.
The Groundhog Day scandals that are coming. Be aware.
Dang, that was funny.
Such a long episode. I think it's time.
You can't even listen to Groundhog.
Chubby fell asleep in the Chubby fell asleep in the midst of this conversation, but I think he would want us to share one inside joke or one significantly funny story to lead the world off with.
Okay. Well, you know the one I'm thinking of, but I don't know if we want the world to know it.
We can tell it, and if I don't like it, I'll be like, give me another one.
Okay.
So I don't know which one you're thinking of, to be honest.
Yes, you do.
Can you drop hints, and I'll guess, and then you can tell the story?
It's when we're throwing ice.
Oh my god, no, I did know it, and I didn't want it to be right. You can tell it, but is that really the funniest? I mean,
no, I mean, it is.
Better ones. But
It
no,
was really funny. You go first.
Yeah, you should go first.
No, I hate you.
What else? We still don't have our last.
We need a memory.
Yeah, we need a memory.
Yeah, last inside joke.
We can just collectively share one because we're like burnt out.
Yeah. Let's just do that.
It's hot. And I don't have one, dude. What was our first market? Do you remember? Was that significant? No. It was a good memory, but not a great one.
I remember being like, "Wow, that was really fun." Like we work really well together at market.
But we wanted
I don't remember
that.
It, like,
we like specifically asked for it. Remember? And that we did really good. So we were like, "Oh, we're gonna keep doing this." That's so good.
We did.
We
ask
have later
for
on
it.
this podcast. But God, why don't we have?
Wasn't there a moment with like?
Is there a moment? You.
I thought I just thought of one, but I forgot it.
Because we hung out, dude. As soon as we became friends, we were friends.
Yeah, friends. And, like, I don't think anyone understood that. Like, once
No,
the plasma
I know
thing,
people didn't understand that.
No, people totally didn't understand. Because people were...
That's gonna be our story. That's gonna be our story.
I got the joke. That was funny.
No, it was like a never-ending thing. We would see somebody new every day, and every day they'd be like, "So, you guys have been hanging out a lot."
Yeah, literally. For context, the plasma thing happened. I almost died in David's car. And then we really didn't have anyone else. Like, we were kind of forced to be friends. And then we celebrated my birthday, and we had, like, a great time celebrating my birthday, and it was all because of David. And, like,
really?
We just hung out, like, every time we... What?
What did I do on your birthday? Why was I so special?
You planned it all.
Did? What can I say? Party planner David right here.
Hey,
sorry,
you.
I know I do too.
But it was just, like, we were friends, and we, like, talked about everything, and we'd call him, and then the last couple days of the semester was when the whole Dante Lavella thing happened, which was just
do you want that
crazy. I'll just keep it. I don't care. But,
okay. For those who don't
like,
know. Can I explain?
No.
Well, episode 1 was happening. You had your own spin-off. We talk about this in episode 1, by the way. We allude to it very briefly.
You do?
Like, you'll be the only one that understands. But,
that's so funny.
Yeah.
But, like, that happened, and I needed, like, to talk to somebody about it. And so, like, and I also needed to pack. And so I had, like, all this time where I needed to pack, and I wanted someone to come over. So you would, like, come over and sit in my room and pack. And
I
then
had a lot of homework, too. And you're like, oh, let's just start talking. I was like, all right, we're doing this.
Yeah. And everyone, like, every 5 seconds would be like, because we hung out all the time, they'd be like, so you and David. People would slide up on my story. People would, like, DM me on Instagram.
And it continued to the next semester, too. Even worse.
Yeah, well, yeah, because then we started going on hikes. We did, like, our hiking thing. And then people would be like, who is this kid that you're spending so much time with?
Oh,
and then, like, everyone at transition thought we were going to get together.
Yeah, and people were like, oh, be careful, David. Like, why? What story do they have about me that they're like, we need to warn her? You're the problem, not me. Hey.
But, yeah, everyone thought we were, the whole inside joke is everyone thought we were together for a really long time. And so then we started playing into it a little bit.
Did
and,
we?
like,
I didn't.
yeah, I remember that. It became, like, a joke. No, we didn't, like, play into it, but it would, like, became a joke every time we hung out. You were like, Zoe, people are going to start thinking.
Oh,
and
we were like, stop setting the stereotype.
Yes, that's what we called it,
the stereotype, yeah.
We're like, oh, we're playing into the stereotype right now. This is, like, literally so
weird.
stereotypical of us.
Like, us being on this podcast right now would be like, oh, we're playing the stereotype. Guess what?
Literally.
Like, yeah,
everything we did together, it was like, hey, watch out, the stereotype. People are going to start thinking.
Like, you're standing a little too close. Like, that'd be dumb, though. That's weird.
And then it became, like, a thing at markets when we were just, like, so exhausted at the end of the day and, like, only had each other to rely on. It was like, you're playing into the stereotype right now. You're acting like...
Because people would be like, oh, the other couple used to be here. You guys are the new couple, right? And we'd be like, yeah. Like, you guys
the stereotype.
Too. Yeah, thanks.
Love that. I don't even
so
know. But there was another...
Right now. Was
I know, there was another inside joke we were going to talk about.
Do you remember it? Because I don't.
Our favorite lesbian.
Favorite lesbian. Fine, you can talk about our favorite lesbian.
Never mind, you don't want to talk about it. I don't remember.
No, we were at a market and we were throwing ice into a trash can, and this girl walks by. She was just the most badass looking person I've ever seen. But she was wearing, like, all black, but she had, like, this really, like, porcelain skin, so it, like, kind of, like, it contrasts in a very nice way. And she had these sunglasses. She was walking with, like, swagger. Like, this utter, like, confidence. And she just, like, looked at us and gave us, like, a... and we stopped what we were doing. We're just like...
both of us were like...
Like, we couldn't talk for, like, a second. And I started to talk to you, and I was like... and we just started laughing, and we were like, she knew she did it on purpose. She had all these tattoos, and just the coolest looking chick.
And we were both just like, wow. She was hot. She was
hot.
Probably,
we're never going to see anything better than that in our lives.
Yeah,
Just end of the dating pool then, like, jeez.
End of the dating pool. Oh my gosh,
I
yeah.
think we did it.
And then it became a thing that
Yeah.
David would make fun of me for being in love with lesbians.
And then you
And I would make fun of him for being... Yeah, and then it was David's in love with lesbians.
Anyways, I thought of a new segment.
Woman complex.
Thought of a new segment that I just want to end this episode with because I want to end this episode really badly. I'm so tired.
Me too.
Are you tired? I'm so tired.
Me too.
But who would you like for this episode to reach? If you could have anybody watch this episode, who would you want it to be? I don't even know when I thought about that. I was like halfway through the episode and I was like,
dude, honestly, I feel like we could have done so much better on this episode.
Oh, we could have. No, this was bad.
I think it'd be cool if it, like, reached Jason. And, like, Haley. And, like, some of the people, and Luke. And, like, some of the people that we, like, really hung out with a lot last year.
Just the whole Goonies?
Because a lot of it, yeah, the whole Goonies. Because a lot of it was, like, us talking about last year.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good
so, like, reaching those...
Or at least get our perspective of, like, the whole story.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say, is, like, you have our perspective on, like, what was going on last year.
You know, yeah, because I don't think they ever get to see, like, our conversations. They just see us being, like, mutually, like, oh, we just talked a lot, we're going to be quiet now that we're in social settings. Yep. And so we never get to be, like, this is our funny jokes. Yeah.
Yeah. It was the only person, like, really understood, like, our relationship was probably Julia.
To whatever extent
like,
that was.
And maybe Levi. Like, maybe.
Maybe Levi.
But everyone else, like, didn't understand, like, how close we actually got.
And yeah, I hope this episode and episode whatever, whenever you're back, will shine a little light. Zoe, I'm really glad you've been on this episode. Chubby has thoroughly enjoyed your presence, even though he did fall asleep.
Thank you, Chubby.
It's going to be really fun editing 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Have so much fun.
We're going to have so much fun. Love you, Zoe. I'll see you when I see you.
Okay.
Bye.
I love you, David. Sleep well.